Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. My name's Suitably, and we're here with another new series. Yes, I am just pumping these out at the moment. We've got a lot more in stock as well, so stay tuned to the channel. Today's game we're going to be going through is Firewatch. Much like the previous series I put up, Gone Home, this is a first-person mystery. It's going to be dialogue heavy, it's going to be story heavy. Again, if you're more into watching films or reading books and not so much into playing games, this might be one of the games that will hold your interest a little bit longer than most more action-based games. Otherwise, if you, like me, enjoy rich plots, amazing characters, fantastic voice acting, you'll definitely want to check this out as well. So, I've not played any of this whatsoever. Again, all of this is recorded live on YouTube. There might be mistakes, there might be problems, but at least it gives you a true representation of how the game is played. I'm going to jump right in here for the first time and enjoy. See, no current games available at the moment. We're just going to go straight in. Boulder, Colorado, 1975. You see, Julia? Oh, I see. This is a... this might be You See, Julia. I'm sat here waiting for something to happen and I have to click on it. Here we go. She's about your age, late 20s, laughing with well-dressed professors and grad students from nearby CU Boulder. You, Henry, are out drinking with your pals. You approach her. You are drunk. So we have options here. So what's your major? And you're pretty. What's your major? Classic chat line. You slur the word major, and it smells like Coors. You give an awkward smile. Evolutionary biology, she says. And I'm a professor. Cool, you reply. What's yours? She asks. She sniffs the air. Toxicology? Was that a burn, you ask? She says definitely. Worried she hurt your feelings, she asks if you want to split a cheeseburger. 1 week later, you are Julia's boyfriend. That's the power of splitting a cheeseburger, everybody. So, left mouse button to use objects. We've got a backpack here. Let's just see if I can bump the game sound up a little bit. Should be a little bit better. And we're in a parking lot. See, it's got a very definitive art style, this game. We could load up the truck, but you know what I'm like. I like to have a good look around. What have we got here? A crushed can of some sort. I like to, really look at what makes the game. Obviously, some very hard-working people put this together. There might be a couple of Easter eggs or items around here, but no, looks like we're just going to load up our gear. You date for over a year. She drives you absolutely nuts. It's great. You move in. You share an apartment near the school with a view of the mountains. You two drink beers out on the deck. You drink beer just about anywhere. Life is good. Julia wants to get a dog. There's a scruffy, undersized beagle. Julia is in love. She wants to bring it with her to class. There's also an intimidating but gentle-eyed German Shepherd. Nothing bad could happen to Julia while walking this dog. It's badass. A choice. You pick up the beagle and she names him Bucket, or you adopt the Shepherd and name him Mayhem. Wow, it's going to have to be Bucket, I'm afraid. Bucket the Beagle? That's just brilliant naming. Bucket's a good dog, and a week later you've totally forgotten about the other one. Julia loves him. You love him too. 1979. You talk out on the deck. It's summer, 9:30 PM, and the heat still radiates off of the high desert. What do you think about kids? She asks. Kids? They're not very smart, or good at much. I'm saying if you and I have some, a couple little idiots. That would be pretty good. Or one day, why rush? I don't know, they've been together for a little while now. I'd say that'd be pretty good. In that case, we should probably get married. Yeah, I would like that, you say. These kids are going to be screwed up enough, it's probably for the best that their parents are hitched. You say she's absolutely right. Here we are, in the wilderness, in those mountains that we probably looked up to over the deck. Take it we've got our gear. This is Thoroughfare Trailhead. Do not forget to check in. No fireworks. You're in their country, learn to live with bears. This is not a problem in the UK. In the UK, bears have their own very specific marked out areas, which we do not trespass on, they don't come back to us. I think it's somewhere in Scotland. Warning, Thoroughfare Trail is not recommended for inexperienced hikers. Thoroughfare is a primitive backcountry trail. So if I can read this. The trail may be vague along several stretches and disappears entirely at some places. It has many confusing side turns. It's kind of hard to read. Locating the trail may be more difficult than expected, and it is common for novice hikers to find themselves stranded at night without water. Make a plan. Be prepared. This is the map. Wow, this is very detailed. This is Two Forks, this is the region. We've got Beartooth Point, a supply drop, Thoroughfare Basin, Wapiti Meadow, Mule Point, Thunder Canyon, that sounds like good fun, Jonesy Lake, 5 Mile Creek, Cottonwood Creek, Ruby River, and the Two Forks Lookout. So I guess we're following the trail then. What's this? Is that for like cigarettes or something? I wouldn't know. I've never been anywhere like this. I've done like a lot of National Trust places in the UK, but obviously nowhere near as large as this. I've done a lot of camping, a lot of backwoods stuff, but this is America. This is totally new country to me. 1980. It's a Thursday night, and Julia is 4 hours late. She doesn't call. You're worried and getting angrier by the minute. She walks in after you've gone to bed. She's not quite drunk, but she's clearly been having a fun time. You fight when she gets between the sheets. You get mad or you ignore her. Ignore her. She's drunk. Let's have this out in the morning. You don't touch each other all night. The next day you feel guilty for being so angry and ask her about the evening. She says it was great. You hold on to a tiny pill of resentment. You make some coffee and go to work. 1981. Julia likes to draw. She draws plants from her research. She draws all the places you go. She draws you. You pose and flex like He-Man, or you frolic like a Victoria's Secret model. I'm going to pose and flex like He-Man, because it's a classic cartoon, and you can do no wrong as He-Man. You look awesome. Why, thank you, game. Here we are again. Lovely colours, look at this. Beautiful lighting. The trees as well. Again, very stylized this game, but it still captures the beauty of the wilderness so nicely. What does this say? This is Two Forks. 8 miles to the fire lookout. Oh, 8 more miles still. Oh, press and hold right click zooms in. I wish I knew that earlier. Give it a proper look at those posters. Spacebar to climb over obstructions. Yeah. A log doesn't have anything on me. 1982. During the summers, you and Julia enjoy walking Bucket at night. There's a festival in town. It brings in folks from faraway places. One of them tries to mug you with a knife. Bucket gets kicked. I don't know how you would say that, but basically Julia's annoyed. Julia yells. She gets flustered and has no trouble speaking when she is stressed. And has trouble speaking when she's stressed, clearly. You confront the attacker. You scare him away, or you beat his goddamn face in. I'd be worried about the dog, I'd just scare him away. You reach into your pocket like you've got a gun and threaten to kill him. You manage to scare all three of you. He runs away. Julia asks to take a different path from that day forward. You say okay, you don't want to go that way either. From then on, you walk by the river. 1984. Plans to have kids get waylaid by work. Julia gets offered a job at Yale. Yale is in Connecticut, 2,000 miles away. It's a great job, associate department chair. She wants to move. You absolutely do not. So you could convince her not to take the job, or agree if she commutes back and forth. Oh, it's a tough choice. Personally, I wouldn't want to get in the way of anyone's career plan. That could be a dream job, basically. So I'll agree if she commutes back and forth. It's going to be difficult, but, you know. You ask her if she'll commute back and forth. You don't want to move to Connecticut. She says that'll be hard, but she'll do it if you won't move. You tell her not to pass it up if that's what she wants. She agrees. She flies back to Boulder 3 times each semester. 1985. Julia is sent home from Yale on paid leave after having an episode. She lost it on a colleague for borrowing books that were important to her research. She didn't remember she had happily loaned them to him just 2 days prior. She was found crying in the stairwell. You say that maybe you guys should talk to someone about it? Or you make macaroni and drink wine and try to forget about it. Oh, that's a sensible one. I've been through some mental health issues myself, and I know how hard that is to do, but it was the right thing to do. On the flip side though, macaroni cheese. It's gorgeous. I'm going to go for this one on the premise that we still have macaroni cheese. How's that sound? After seeing multiple doctors and having many tests, they are worried that Julia might be suffering from early onset dementia. She is 41. You both decide to keep it a secret for now. This game's going to make me cry, I know it is. Back in the wilderness. I'm taking it like these are flashbacks as we delve in further. Let's have a look at the journal. This is the drawing that she did. Bucket is getting older. Julie comments that it's kind of nice because he gets in less trouble around the house. A week later, she goes back to the university. 1987. Julie's affliction gets worse. She can't remember things in class. Her research is in shambles. She drives the car to the next town over for no particular reason, and has to be brought home by the police. She is devastated. She is sent home on permanent medical leave. Some days, you get the Julia who calls you a dope and your unborn children little idiots. Other days, you get a stranger. She pulls you into bed to make love. After 5 minutes, she goes into a panic, believing her dad is at the door. You tell her family. They are crushed and begin to make trips to and from their home in Australia to visit her. For a while, your friends come by with little things to brighten the day. She gets worse. 1988. You spend your days following Julia around the house. You count the seconds between the 2 weekly visits from Daniel, the nurse. He suggests that Julia could live somewhere else, somewhere with 24-hour care, a home. It sits with you for a couple of months. Oh god. We're like less than 20 minutes into this game and the decisions are already so difficult. If you've ever had to deal with this in real life, my heart goes out to you, because this is not easy even for a game. You decide to move it into a full-time care facility, or you are determined to take care of her by yourself. This is probably too personal, but I have always tried to do whatever I can myself, but I have failed before thinking I can do stuff for myself and for other people when really I should have reached out for help. So I'm going to go with what I know now to be the right course of action, or what I believe can be the right course of action. If you can take care of someone by yourself, it's obviously much more personal. But that takes a toll on you as well. No, screw it. You're determined to take care of her by yourself. It's more honest. I need these moments in between, I think, the hard decision making, to be able to look up at the trees and look out at the sun and stuff like that, and admire this game for how beautiful it is. And considering the fact that Henry is obviously coming out here to find a bit of solace, to find some space to think, etc., it has cemented that, for me as a player, so, like, fundamentally within this game. I feel like I need these playable sections just to escape the tough decision making. That's exactly what he came out here for, I'm sure. Look at it. What a majestic beastie. It is impossibly hard. The worst is when you get mad at her, like when she tries to cook her own food. You can't do anything without her, and she can't do anything without you. Man, I wish I knew more about this game before I started playing it. It's great, but it's difficult. When she goes to sleep, you stay up for a few hours, drinking on the deck, watching baseball in the summer, college basketball in the winter, drinking then too. You start going out after you put her to bed. The first time you do it, you worry about her getting up and walking around while you're gone. You put a chair in front of the bedroom door, or you trust that she sleeps like a rock. Oh my god, this is that's too real. I understand the need to feel safe, but this option on the left feels like keeping someone prisoner. It feels like you're sacrificing their freedom for your own personal safety, for your own personal peace of mind. Whereas this, I know, having suffered with anxiety for a while now, that would be so difficult. I wouldn't be able to bring myself to do that. But it would make this option harder. But that's what I would do. You go to the same bar at the boring end of Pearl Street. It's nice there. Over time you tell Sheila, the bartender, everything. It's a huge weight off. You're home and in bed by 1 AM a couple of nights a week. You look forward to those nights. 1989. One night you are stopped at a DUI checkpoint. You blow a .10 and are taken to jail for the night. You consider trying to hide it, but you tell your sister-in-law, Susan. Julia's parents take the next plane from Australia. They can't believe the state your house is in. Then they tell you Julia is coming to live with them. You don't argue. You say you'll visit soon. A few weeks go by. Summer is coming and you see an ad in the paper for a job. You take it.